that. This is crazy. This is madness. This is Dungeness Power Station. I park right next to it on the edge of Dungeness. That spit thing that comes down in Kent. And I'm just going to explore. Looks to be some fascinating places around here. Looking away from the power station, we've got the end of the little railway to the left, those white buildings, and there's a cafe in there. We've got the old lighthouse, big tall thing, the white building, I'm not sure what that is, and we've got the new lighthouse off to the right hand side, and over there is cottages, fishermen's goings on, and the sea. Let's go and explore that first, I think. I've just come to the end point. That's a Coast Guard lookout, and as I mentioned earlier, the new lighthouse. Look at these little shacks on the beach. There's a policeman coming. It did say no professional filming, but I'm not professional. I think I'll go for a walk now. On the map says that's the old Coast Guard lookout, but it looks like apartments. Very smart inside by the looks of it. Dungeness B behind it. I've parked almost over there by one of the gates. But yeah, go and explore this bit, and then inland there's a nature reserve. So I'm going to check that out once I've walked around here a bit. Again, this little hut here with a tower, someone's staying in that as well. So I don't know if they're part of, what is it, Landmark Trust? I've not looked. What places to stay. Look at all the little shacks. And I'm standing right in front of, and I'm glad it's not foggy, the foghorn, Dungeness foghorn. I better move quick. I've got to do the water's edge around here. But look at this bank here, where the last tide has been. Pretty cool. Lots of fishermen along here. Ugh. Bit of sand at the bottom. A buoy out there. Looks a bit shallow. Dungeness. Oh, it's pretty breezy here, but fairly mild, so that's pretty good. When I arrived, I was trying to park in an area that had one motorhome and one campervan in it, and they were parking across the road, and you could just squeeze past them. I wasn't happy about parking in there. I was going backwards and forwards. Anyway, a man came up, and he was a ranger manager, he said, or manager of the estate, because we're on the Dungeness estate now. And he said, you can go and park down there. There's more space. So that's where I went to, closer to the edge of the power station grounds, and stuck myself in there. And then he came over and said, yeah, that's fine. Public toilets are over there, railway stations over there, cafe are there. So very helpful man, I think. Why don't we have more of that? It's taking forever on this shingle. I see a walkway back to the road. So I think I'm going to take that and explore a bit more inland. Everybody seems to be on this all of a sudden. Oh, it's good that if you're in a wheelchair as well, you can get down to that sitting area. Another little shack there, a brown one. It's got people sitting in it. Okay, whether it's a house or rented, I don't know. What place to have a little break. I feel like the fresh air, that is. The information board here says that was opened in 1961 and automated in 1991, so I presume it's Trinity House. There's some more parking just by the side of the road here, and a nature reserve is all over there. We've got a pub called the Britannia Inn, and I'm down the end of this road, and that was started in 1904, that old lighthouse. More shacks here. That's the Britannia Inn. It says it's open. It's an old railway carriage. I don't know if it's occupied. All the blinds are down. It looks a bit overgrown. That's pretty cool. And then the other shacks down here. There's a hut there that says it's closed, called Caithness. I don't actually know what it is. Maybe it's just a sign they found. But look at all that detritus. Maybe that's stuff collected off the beach. That's the end of the line restaurant. At the end of the line, the Dungeness small gauge railway. And there is quite a bit of parking for cars here, but it's a bit tight for vans. Although if you're a smallish van, you can pick a spot. It really is wild here. This is where I'm heading. This is a Dungeness National, I think, nature reserve. There's a few things to go and have a look at in here, and just walk aimlessly along, seeing what I see. Wouldn't surprise me if they're Coast Guard cottages, but I don't know. Maybe we'll go and have a look. I was going to go on the beach along in front of that, but look, it goes on for miles down there, so I'm not going to do that. I was going to look at that red thing. I might do that in a minute, but I'm veering off to this whiteboard here. So what we have here is a war memorial to number 303 Squadron RAF, which was one of 2 Polish squadrons to fight during the Battle of Britain. 146 Polish pilots took part, and it goes on to say how they shot down the largest number of aircraft of the 66 Allied fighter squadrons engaged. I'm at the red thing. It's I don't know what it is. Answers on a postcard, please. It's sort of got a cage. It's got a door at the end. It's strapped down like tent pegs. It's got a bowl of water. It's got a ramp and a door. And in the middle there's a round hole at the net with a sort of net falling down. Is it for trapping something? Really don't know. But the door is open. Things can get in there. Things can go through there. The wilderness, that's what they call this. There's a fence line along here with no fence in it, and then there's some lakes over there. So I might head along here a bit and then left a bit and come back. There are paths everywhere according to my app. I'll just head along here, I think. What else is there to do? I mean, one thing I could do is just sit here and eat all these blackberries. Again, I didn't bring a bucket with me. So that side is open, as you can see, and then I'm just walking along this sort of ridge where it's got all this bushy area. I'm just going to stay on this ridge between the two, I think, for now. I don't know whose idea this was. It looks as though I'm still on the beach, but I've come, I don't know, a mile and a half from there. I'm in the middle of all this. This is all nature reserve, and I'm heading there, and there's supposed to be some lakes Wouldn't surprise me if it's all dried up. I finally made it to a lake. I must have been walking 3/4 of an hour. There's one lake there, and there's a bank with a path which goes up that way. I'm not going to go any further that way. And then to my left there's another lake. Let me get you a better view of that. And here's the second one. Little island in the middle with some birds on it and some rafts, anchored rafts. Looks like there's a visitor centre over there. I can see a motorhome parked as well. And then look, it goes on for miles. I think we're just going to sit down here, have a drink and a view, and then decide which way to go back. So there's a road behind me, so if I turn right I get to the road, which is a better walk back, or I could go back the way I came, which is that way. Not so keen on that. Or I could head to the other side of the power station, down to the beach, and walk along in front of it. I need to mull that over and look at the mileage. There are loads of islands in there. Plenty of cormorants, I think. Just enjoying life. What a place. I think one last film before I get too close to the power station. I'm just heading across to the corner of the new one, and it's just all like this. It's just incredible. Not seeing a soul. But I get to the corner of the power station and then head on the path, the coast path, back to the where I was parked. It's just madness, but it's wild. It's still blowing, but I'm still going. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to the van, have something to eat, and then maybe have another look around a bit further up the road. We shall see. Just before I leave this estate, there are a couple of things I just wanted to have a look at. I've driven up the road, well, only about half a mile from where I was parked, the lighthouse, and there's all sorts of stuff just left lying around. And just show you a bit of that. So that's one of the things. I've just got to a sort of boiler. I'll just give you a look round at what's left here. There's an old boiler. Little sign here says, "This tanning copper, originally built in 1920, has been restored to commemorate the millennium 2000 AD, as used by Char Richardson, Butcher Richardson and Gender Euler." So it's obvious what it does. There's a fire underneath, there's a copper in the top, and then there's a chimney for the smoke to come out of. Simples, unless you know different. So this little cottage is Prospect Cottage, saved for the nation, and it was the home of Derek Jarman. So Derek Jarman, gay rights activist, gardener, poet, film producer, lived here till he died in, I think it was 1994. Yeah, we've got a lovely garden here. Some bits of wood from the ocean by the looks of it. But yes, you can do tours around here. A bit of all sorts in his garden. go, and got a little summer shed next to it. Just about got on the edge. I think I'm on a grassy bit, so hopefully I should be able to get off. Finally, a bit of break in the wind behind the van. Right, that's about it here, I think. Back to the campsite, and I'm all covered in salt, so I have a bit of a wash off before I get run over. Right, who knows what I'm doing next. Catch you soon. Bye.